What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back to episode 2 of the walkthrough. So continuing from here, we're going to go up ahead. There are some enemies that we're going to fight before we make our way to the first boss. Run on up these stairs, swing a right, and you'll notice up ahead that a bunch of enemies are actually fighting each other. Now the first thing you're probably going to think is, oh, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to let them, they're going to kill each other and I'm going to farm it. And I know it sounds attractive, but these enemies are specifically set to where you're not really getting a whole lot when you kill them. So you can see I'm at 424. You can see that the enemies are dying. See, I'm not getting... Well, we'll vacuum up in a second when we're done. So, all of those enemies. And I gained... It's not that. Gained about 75. So, point being, don't waste your time trying to farm right here. You're not going to get good returns. But we do have a couple things we want to get loot-wise. First, of course, being this guy right here. Now, right over here, this door is actually very, very important. Late game, you're going to come back through here. It's super obscure, but once you get towards the end of the game, it doesn't really give you a lot of direction, basically where to go to make your way towards the final boss. And it's actually going to be through this door, but the game doesn't really tell you that. So just keep this door in mind. It's a very important door. But for now, at least, we're going to enter into Umbral and pick up a bunch of goodies. Now, there's a reason for this being, is as you can see, after we entered Umbral, the lava is mostly gone. I mean, we can still see it visually, but it's not hurting us. So we'll pick up the rusty cutter, and then there are 3 instances of fire salts that we can pick up. So we went into... You can, of course, also just shine your lamp and walk over and pick up these items. But the downside with that is you're going to temporarily lower your lamp to actually acquire the items, and when you do that, you're going to take some damage. So... Now that guy, get this fire salt, and there's one more over here. There it is. We're going to call this guy the Fire Giant. This is there's some plot stuff that happens with him a little bit later, but just remember this is the Fire Giant location. Now up ahead we have the first boss, Pieta. Pieta is, in my opinion, a bit of a parry check. She has a lot of very well telegraphed moves that you can parry pretty easily, and by doing so, take her down relatively fast. She has a couple to note. There is basically a 3-hit combo going on. She has an overhead slam she occasionally does. I'm not a giant fan of parrying the slam because she will usually create thorns with it, and those thorns are going to get some damage in. I'm going the wrong way. In addition to that, she has what we'll call a wing rush, where she'll summon up clones, and they go in kind of like a 1-2-3 zone type thing, like left, middle, and right. So you just stand in the zone that they're not coming in. The clones can also try to attack you as well, so make sure to avoid that. She can create little thorns that are going to chase you on the ground. You can usually run away. One of her big things is she likes to pull her hand back and then rush towards you and try to get a grab attack on, and that can actually hurt quite a bit if you're not careful. So if you really want to over-prepare here, we have fire salts as well as holy ward for this fight. But honestly, if you just focus on parries and getting a couple occasional hits in, blocking and getting follow-up on your wither, you should do fine. If you die, you'll then be able to summon the Iron Wayfarer, and he will, of course, assist with this fight. So if we somehow don't take her out on the first attempt, we're certainly going to take her out on the subsequent attempt. That's the slam that I just talked about avoiding. Wasting my heals early on, Pieta. You can see why I said she's kind of parry bait. Oh, she's doing her phase transition. You can see the wing rush there. coming back from the clones. Oh, she also has a... No, the grab got me. She also has like a beam blast that she can do. Definitely be aware of the beam blast. That can hurt a lot if you don't see it coming. Here are the little thorn chasers. There's the beam blast. Got a little cocky there with that hit. Oh no, I let him hit me. That's okay. Now keep in mind that when we die in this game, we come back. We're now back in the Umbral realm. I'm dead. I don't know why I thought I was going to get off a charged heavy attack there. That was not the time to do a charged heavy attack. Keep facing the wrong way when I respawn. Now this is the guy that you can summon in for the boss fight. So if you need him, make sure to just grab him. Which we will pull him in on this attempt just to show how summons work in this game. There's really no downside to using summons. The only thing is you have to have failed at the boss at least once, and then you will see the summon with a beacon. You can see seek assistance from the Iron Wayfarer. Doing that will summon him in. And there's actually quite a lot of summoning we're going to be doing in this walkthrough because, for starters, to get the Dark Crusader class, you have to summon during a particular boss encounter. And then on top of that, we have a mercenary NPC whose whole shtick is to summon her in on various bosses and then give her payment afterwards. So if you're not utilizing the summoning on bosses like that, you're just going to miss out on side quests. But we're going to just sit on back. And even though she is holy, we can still get some damage in here. So we're just going to go ahead and use up all of our mana to do our casting, which we didn't do at all in the last attempt. And the Iron Wayfarer, he'll do pretty good. Even if you just leave him completely on his own, he's probably going to get through about a third of his health without you ever having to do anything. So now that we've done that, we're going to two-hand and we'll start bonking her pretty hard. She's going to do her phase shift here. You can see the NPCs do a very good job of holding aggro on the bosses as well, so... Alright, so they are going to go on the left and the right, so we want to stay in the middle. There's the, you can see how she pulled back the arm to go for that grab. They're gonna go middle and right, so I'm gonna come over here. There's her little blade beam. Just doing the slam, so I'm gonna avoid it. You can see how a big thing here is we're waiting for the right time. Even though she was only one hit from death there, you know, we had to heal, our health was full. All we had to do was just sit back, wait a little bit for her to leave herself open. And that's when we are going to take her on down. Now, after taking her down, we're going to want to go into Umbral. Go ahead and pop this stigma.
Sisters, you honor us and all who came before you.
Would suggest watching it. Go on up here, open this chest, give us a new spell. This is going to be a shortcut that we unlock significantly later into the game, so don't worry about that for now. And then you can emerge from the Umbral here if you want now. There's some other stuff we're going to do in Umbral, but we can do that after we get into the base. So, run on down. Now we are at our hub. Welcome to Skyrest Bridge. Now, I'm going to probably call this Sky Fort and, you know, Skyrest and Sky Bridge and all sorts of different names. I always get the name mixed up, so I'm just letting y'all know. This spot is where we're going to find our mercenary friend after we rescue her. As for this spot, I still haven't seen... Well, actually, no, Andreas comes here at one point. Over here, that one and that one, those stayed locked. But let's talk about what we can immediately do in Skyrest. So I'm going to scroll my notes a bit here. So first off, talk to Dunmire. Just burn through all of his dialogue, get through all of it, blah, 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 blah.
But now it is to use the and deliver self. Rogue the Aureus Myth.
You can see he has a couple different things. If you are using the exact build I am, this radiant weapon may be of use to you. And I wonder if you're considered a light hammer. Part of me is tempted to use 2 of these, because that does sound kind of cool. I believe you're considered light. Yeah! It's hammer time, baby. So anyway, buy whatever you want from him. Go ahead and talk to Pieta.
And to think when all to deliver, forgive me. I'm Pieta.
This is the boss we just fought, whose name I'm mispronouncing.
The beacons and Adyr fellow chose.
This is where we can upgrade our heals. We can also respec from her, but respec items are kind of rare. There are some places that you can farm them, but they're not exactly cheap at the moment, so I'll talk about those in just a little bit. This is the captain. Go ahead and burn through his dialogue.
I'm Stoneman, a group of against a man. We made a vow. Whatever the cost to us, that's heretic, as are you.
He can sell a bunch of different stuff. If you're interested in a nice small shield, this one's actually pretty solid. I use this all the way through the end game. The Pilgrim's Perch key will help us get access to a bunch of goodies, but if we wait long enough, he'll just leave it and we get it for free. The Ring of Duty, this one may be worth picking up if you want a decent ring early on. This is going to increase both your vitality and endurance. I'm trying to remember exactly how much it was. I believe I think it's 2 to each. But we will pick that up because in terms of value, at only 3,000, and that gives us access to what? Only 1 to each. Well, still, I mean, that's worth 2 levels at the current moment. So we'll put that on as well as the Mine Owner's Ring. In terms of other stuff that you might be interested in here, if you are playing online, these make it so that you can't be invaded, which is kind of nice. If you're that worried about invasions, though, I would suggest just playing offline like I am. Not that I'm worried about invasions, because I'm obviously a Giga Chat PvPer, but I don't want to deal with invasions when I am in the middle of trying to read notes and do a walkthrough. So pick up the Aura of Tenacity, go ahead and interact with the shrine here. This is essentially the co-op shrine. If you are online, you're able to spend the items you get from completing co-op endeavors to unlock a couple different things, including Tinks, the +10 tier upgrade mat, some unique armors, but that does require a lot of time spent in multiplayer. These NPCs, I've never seen them change anything. They're just kind of, they just hang out. They just hang out and you can talk to them. They don't really do a whole lot. Up here, there is nothing to do for the time being, but after we get our blacksmith, which will be in just a little bit, this is going to be where she sets up shop. And then lastly, we are going to, boom, go into Umbral and run up on this side and talk to Molu.
The lamp only then.
Now, we can upgrade this with chisels. We're going to find 3 of those as we play through, but for now, we can't do that. But we can drop a socket in, which is something we definitely want to do. We picked up this a little bit earlier when we popped that belly back by the first visage, and this is going to give us an extra soul flay charge, which is going to be super useful early on, so go ahead and pick that up. Now, talking to Molu, if you desperately need to respec, he doesn't have it right now, but he will sell one of the respec items, so that is something worth keeping in mind. Besides that, we also have the Vestige Moth here. It might be worth picking up one of these. You can use this to travel out, so if you're in like a bad area and you can't get out, having one of these will allow you to warp out and keep all of your stuff. He also sells an infinite amount of Vestige Seeds, which are very nice, and then he has the Eye of Vengeance, which to talk a little bit about that, I think this may also be an online component. No, we can do this offline. Nope, we cannot. Well, Basically, throughout the game, you're going to see red lanterns on the ground. If you interact with them and soul flay those, it will point you to an enemy that has killed somebody else playing through the game. And the idea is that killing that enemy will earn you vengeance. So if you really want to load up on those eyeballs, what you can do is when you find one of those, go ahead and pop that, and that's just going to start really loading up on these vengeance opportunities, so you can kill all these enemies and get eyeballs and get stuff from here, which very similar to the other shrine. Using this one, we can gain access to more respec items, we can gain additional tinks, things along that pathway. So there's a couple other doors here that are currently locked. A lot of those require the Skyrest bridge key door, which we're going to get in a little bit. We're actually going to be swinging back around and coming to this place very shortly. So don't worry about it for now. Instead, if you still have enough to get a level, let's grab one. Once again, we're going to continue focusing vitality. Once that hits 20, I'll consider going into something else. We actually want to do a proper rest as well to take us out of Umbral. Okay. Alright, so looking at the time, I think we can push all the way through and get back to the other loop at Skyrest. This is Andreas, another NPC. We're just going to burn through his dialogue for now.
About that I hope you recognize truth. Of course, my name, but far more than as proven by my... That's right, who defied only to be betrayed. So you'll while and give me the lamp, no? It saddens. I hope you see my offers, after all.
Basically just some dick that's full of himself. So run on over this way. Pick up the old Mornstead spear, and then climb on up, and we're going to talk to Theka here. This guy doesn't have a whole lot going on right now, but he becomes a merchant, and he basically like travels around the zones with us.
All I want, but they didn't.
For now, he gives us a stick.
I gave, but I know it's a harsh, but a tree that doesn't. It's a harsh wind that blows in morning.
Okay, so going up ahead, we can already kind of see the first enemy there, looking to get an ambush on us. If we want, we can. One more. Here we go. Let's see how good this dual wield is. To be honest, we're most likely going to be going towards a shield build, like a shield and one-hander, but curious to see the advantage of dual wielding early on. It's pretty good. We'll pick up that. We'll pick up this. This guy is looking to fight us. Right over here is a thing that we can exit from the Umbral realm with, which we're going to need in a second, but... Oh, that's sweet. I like that attack. There's a bunch of different enemies here, but before we go messing with any of them, I'm just going to roll past, run on up, and we're going to activate this visage. Now, I wouldn't worry too much about resting yet. I mean, we still have all of our health, so we're not gonna rest. But we are gonna wait for him to throw his stuff and then take him out. It's better than one hammer, two hammers. Another one that's up top. Go ahead and pop him off. Beautiful. And there should be one over here. You can kind of see him hiding. Ooh, he wanted to push me. So do be cautious, because we have a lot of forward momentum in this game, and it's very easy to get aggressive and attack and actually fall off a ledge trying to hit an enemy. So definitely something to be aware of. And then our last friend is hiding over there. I'll pop a little Mana Stone cluster here. Right. Vacuum up any souls that we missed. I'm curious how that stacks up. You were just strength and agility, whereas you have some holy on you. Okay. Alright, one above, one to the right. Kill the troops off to the left. There's another mage guarding the holy ward. So if we're good to go, we're going to now enter Umbral. We're going to cross the bridge. So we want to go up here and drop. Run across the hand. Access to the rejects blade. Some fist weapon. Now we're going to try and perform the yeet technique. This can be a little tricky to pull off, but it's the soul flay technique, and we didn't really show that previously, but now is a great time to utilize it. So first I want to try and take out anything that I can. Over there, that thing is what we're going to be fighting. That the fairy is what I call them. But we need to get her over towards a ledge. There we go. Now to properly do the yeet, one of the most important things with the yeet is you want to be parallel to a ledge. So I had to be lined up with her to toss her on off. But you can pull enemies towards you, send them to the left, or send them to the right. So any of those are viable options for yeeting. Unfortunately, you can't like throw them, as in like throw them backwards. So you always want to aim to try and get parallel. Let's see. Oh, the secret pause technique. If you're not playing online at any given time, hit start, push in the right trigger, you go into photo mode. While you're in photo mode, nothing can hurt you, which also gives me a great opportunity to check my notes. So we got the fist weapon, we got rid of the mother fairy, the belly up ahead, then we head back for the stigma. Excellent. Ooh, gotta be careful. Remember, we can instantly die when we're in Umbral, so don't want to go rolling off any cliffs. Go over here, pop the belly. It's access to the Pale Eye Shield. Decent medium shield. Don't exit Umbral just yet. Look at this.
Oh, hallowed sentinels. Most blessed representatives of the Holy Church cleric. My soul soars to see.
Hold your tongue, Pilgrim. And on your feet.
Nothing better yet.
Are on sacred ground. And we are yet to see whether you are deserving of that honor.
I assure you, I have dedicated my life to the teachings of Judge Cleric. My faith in her and her divine works is boundless.
Pray it is. For our Immaculate Lady's light will lay bare the truth. And in radiance, there is judgment.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and rest and spend our current vigor. Now we're going to run back out where we just were. Now we could have done this without resting, but one of those things where it's better to be safe than sorry. We'll kill that one guy. We can probably just run past most of this trash, because they're not going to be able to hit us where we're going anyway. So drop down to here. Mandatory that you roll through the boxes. This is a shortcut that we'll gain access to significantly later. And then this is going to break, so... And then this whole area is basically filled with assholes trying to ambush you. So just be ready for it. Wanna run and tape. This guy has a Umbral Spectre, or a, not a Spectre. Yeah, Umbral, I already forgot what those things are called. Whatever, he's dead. And there's some loot back there that dropped on kill that I didn't get. Ugh, I don't really like this jump. Who can pass up upgrade match, you know? Really like the kick in this game. Oh, I like that. That's fun. It's my ranged attack. Doing a quick vacuum in case I missed anything. Punish all the sinners. Man, I even knew he was there and he still got it off. Cheeky shit. That's okay though, we'll be fine. Some mage in the back there. And mostly ignore him until you've killed the other guys. This will bring the elevator back down if it's already left. I'll pick this up. We're going to ride this on up, and this is going to bring us to basically the backside of the Skyfort. So we can go ahead and pick up Ice Grip, and then we're going to go ahead and exit again. Right. After doing that, we're going to make our way down. We'll run along here. We have to enter Umbral form again.
Divine Adyr, witness this offering I make to you.
After we see... Actually, I don't know what happens if we leave before we finish the scouring. I haven't tested that yet. But we can wait a second while Damara inserts herself. So for this next part, you want to hold the lantern out. Then we're going to walk until we're over this platform. Which you can kind of see it below you. Let go. You'll drop down. You'll get the Faithful Bludgeoned. Which if you're playing as a strength build, this thing is great. Probably the... Well, it is the best early game strength weapon in terms if you want like a big weapon. Going to enter Umbral again. Go over here. Pull this. And then we'll kill all of our new friends that showed up. Now up ahead, we are just going to run past a couple enemies. These guys can be kind of hard at this point in the game, so I wouldn't really suggest you mess with them too much, including this fairy that's right here. We're going to run past the fairy, say hello, grab the Crimson Rector Sword, not go that way. Gonna go this way. Want to run over here. Grab this. This is going to be the Skyforge key. These guys like to dive underground and then pop up an ambush shoot. So run ahead and emerge from Umbral. You can see we got that animation lock. And so even if they're attacking us right now, we're safe. Now, If I was to just hold up my lamp and peer into Umbral, and those guys hit me while I have that lamp up, it's going to pull me into Umbral, which we obviously do not want. So that's something to be very careful with. Crimson Rector Shield. Once we have the bridge key, we can go ahead and open that door. And we'll run on back. Go through here.
While the
Talk to him
beacon
real
should remain,
fast.
I would have you seek out as proof, for only in the can we hope to turn this land to offer you. Also, they are already
So he just gave us a little subquest he wants to do. Now we're gonna run back to where we were. Except we're gonna go over this little dip. We're gonna go in here. Got a couple different things to get. Got some skulls. Got the Decrier set. Got another skull. Got a cool looking tomb. After that, run on up, and we're going to, basically this is just another connection, so you'll see where we're at in just a second here. And there we are, now on the ground level of Skyrest. So, at this point we want to hop back into Umbral. We're going to pop this for now.
Their words are veiled when they speak to me.
Run on over into here.
By marrying such a mind noble.
Grab the bigger skull. Grab the faint bigger skull. And grab the other faint bigger skull. And then this was, yes, so this will basically take us right back to where we were. There's no point in taking this route, but it'll just take us basically to where like Andreas was staying. So we just wanted to get the bigger skulls that were right there. And then after that, we're going to be coming back to this NPC in just a little bit. For now, we want to run down here where the balcony breaks. We're going to roll off. Ooh, that's a little close roll. And right there, pop it. After popping, you can see a spot right here where we can run back onto the balcony. We're gonna go down this way. Pop you for some loot. Princess's Sting, which we're gonna put on for now. It just increases our damage if our weight's lower, which probably won't do much, but we're not exactly in heavy gear yet. Grab it again, tug it. Go behind us. Pop it, bop it, twist it, pull it. And then the last one is right up the ladder here. For some reason I always get stuck right there, so you might need to wiggle past it to get access to the Searing Accusation. Now that is a Pyromancer Catalyst. I know at first glance you're probably going to be like, Pyro Catalyst, let's go, I'm going to put it on. But no, we're not going to put that on. We're actually going to give that to an NPC and start the first step of her quest line. We'll go all the way back up top and over here. Talk to the tortured prisoner, hand over the Searing Accusation. After you do that, go ahead and exit to the main menu. After we exit and we pop back in, see she is gone and she's left the tortured prisoner's head cage, so we'll pick that up. And now we're gonna run on over here. We are going to warp to the seedling we had previously placed. We can now open up this door, which this is just right here, right in Skyrest. So let's see, things lead on down. This is the co-op room, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so there's the co-op shrine underneath there. And then, since we're already over here, we're actually going to make our way back over to where the fire giant was. And you'll notice the NPC that we had just rescued is now waiting for us right over there.
Hello again, deathless one. I'm glad. Perhaps I couldn't see it. Witness when will you bring news of...
So she has a couple different stuff for pyromancers, basically. Conflagration, a new spell that you can get access to, as well as their starting armor, which looks pretty rad. And with that, we are all set on Skyrest for now. So yeah, a lot of looping and running around, but we got it all. So at this point, we are going to head back to the base. Right on down. I love how fast we run in this game. It's such a blessing. But head back on into the base. Noticing some souls. We're going to do a little vacuum. It was probably the guys fighting. We'll rest for now. And then when we... see, is there anything I forgot? Bridge. We got the door. We got the loot, the sword and shield. Which if you're doing a strength build, this is basically... I believe it's better than the Werewolf starting sword, but there's a bleed version we'll get pretty soon. But either way, we're going to warp back to Sanctuary, and that is going to be where we pick things up on our next episode.